That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, James Gunn has kind of floated before that Robert Pattinson is not going to be the Batman in the DCU. But it does seem not matter. Everybody still seems convinced that Robert Pattinson is absolutely going to be the Batman in the DCU. Well, to reiterate again, according to Total Film, James Gunn once again confirms that Robert Pattinson's Batman will not be a part of the DCU, and they're pretty disappointed. I'm not, and I'll explain why.
Nor am I. What are you talking about?
So basically, when asked, he gave a very short answer. He said, look, we've talked about it, which he's acknowledged before. He said, of course, you talk about everything. In his new comment, he said, we've talked about it, but it's not what's happening. It's not what's happening. That's just consistent with what he's said over. Now, he said there's a lot of things in flux about the DCU and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to this, is Pattinson going to be our Batman in the DCU? He said, that's not happening. It's not happening. And whereas this article writer saying they're pretty disappointed, I still have to ask everybody out there, my fellow film fans and brethren, why the fuck would you want this?
I don't know.
Why would you want to eliminate and get rid of that Matt Reeves glorious Gotham world that he's created with the Batman and with the Penguin? That world's gone if you bring Pattinson into the DCU. That gritty, grounded, real world feeling universe that Matt Reeves has created, where there is not magic and sorcerers and flying aliens with lasers coming out of their eyes. I love that we have a universe that does have all that.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he's created this world that is delicious and beautiful and intense and fantastic. And you want to throw that away? Why? Why does anybody want to throw that away? It's inconceivable. In my best Vincini, it's inconceivable why you just want to take that gloriousness that they've been building and throw it into the trash just so you can have this Batman in that universe of Superman. It's idiotic. It's absolutely idiotic. They have something right now over at DC that others would kill for. They have a thriving, excellent little pocket cinematic universe going on with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson and Colin Farrell and Kristen Milioti and all that kind of stuff going on over there. And it's working. They've had 2 projects, and both of them, in my opinions, I don't do scores out of 10, but they're like 9 out of 10s each. All right. They're fantastic. We've got Superman just launched, this other glorious cinematic universe that we've got Peacemaker coming and Lanterns and Supergirl, and this Superman was fantastic. And you got this, and they're totally diametrically different kind of properties. And you got 2 things that are going and working right now. Again, I ask the question, why the holy fuck would you want to throw one of them away? I've never understood it. And listen, it's film, it's subjective. We all have what we want and don't want. And I'm just using language to bust everybody's balls. Of course, it's all subjective. You feel one way, that's fine. But I'm just saying, from my point of view, why on earth anybody would want to scrap that Batman just so we can have Robert Pattinson played in this universe, to me, is astronomically insane. They're going to go out, they're going to get a great person to play Batman. That I have no doubt. James Gunn, if nothing else, has absolutely nailed his casting. And he'll do a great job, I'm sure, getting their new Batman. And then we're going to continue to get these great films in the Matt Reeves universe. And to not take advantage of that, if James Gunn decided not to take advantage of that, which he's made clear over and over and over again, he is going to take advantage of that. But if for some reason he lost his damn mind and decided to just throw one away, I would lose a lot of my faith in James Gunn. Like, I would lose my faith in his sanity at that point. So I like the fact that he's, again, reiterating that's not what's happening. It's not. There's a lot of stuff in flux, and we've talked about that, but that's not happening. And I'm glad he said it again, and I honestly wish my beloved fellow film brethren would get off this wagon, because it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, Rob, what's your take on this whole thing?
I'm in agreement with my esteemed colleague over there. Yes, no, I believe, I don't understand why people would have even thought that was even on the table. It's never been on the table. Obviously, it's its own hermetically sealed universe, and we've gotten two great pieces of material from it. The first, the Batman, and of course the Penguin. And I'm really looking forward to where it's going to go. And I think, obviously, the tone of it is completely diametrically opposed to what James Gunn is doing, at least based on the one thing we've seen. I just don't think that there's any place, the whole aesthetic, the whole idea behind it. In that universe, Batman is really the only superhero. There's no indication there's
and he
any
has
others.
no magic or superpowers.
No, and it's just again, it's that crime thriller Batman, the Dark Knight detective Batman. There's no reason to have him in the James Gunn universe. I don't even want to see another superhero. You can have
well, we got
villains.
Catwoman over there.
Yeah, but I mean, Catwoman isn't superpowered. You know, she's a cat burglar, and it deals. It's a very street level version of Batman, and I love it for that reason. And I just don't think it belongs at all in James Gunn's. James Gunn's going to give us a more heightened Batman, a Batman we haven't seen before on screen. That's not going to be campy like the Schumacher Batmans, but it's also not.
You don't want the nipples?
Well, I always like nipples, but but it's not going to be. It's not going to be that, but it's also not going to be the Christopher Nolan more realistic Batman. It's going to be somewhere, that's more along the lines of what I would expect. I mean, Batman's going to have a little bit more of a sense of humor, a little twinkle in his eye. Maybe the deadpan nature of him is going to be humorous, but there's going to be something different like we haven't seen before. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to what is the Batman in that universe going to be. I don't need to see someone else's Batman transposed into. By the way, if they did that, it would be insufferable listening to people online go, well, when's Henry Cavill going to come over? I saw somebody talk, Kevin McGuire, my favorite comic artist who drew the Justice League not Justice League animated, the Justice League comic series in the 80s that James Gunn took a lot of Superman from. I love that comic series. He commented today, why not make Henry Cavill Batman? If you can bring Lobo in, and have Jason Momoa play Lobo, why can't you have Henry? I'm like, I'd watch that.
I'd watch it too.
Because he's funny. Henry Cavill is funny. He was great in Man from U.N.C.L.E., but when you see him on talk shows and like people are ripping on him from, so what is this world of Warhammer? What? Oh, Warhammer 40K. He's very funny when he deals with people asking him about that. And he's got a great sense of humor. I could see him playing a humorous Batman.
Oh, I could see him. Well, first of all, James Gunn said he doesn't want a Batman that's telling jokes.
Right.
But listen, you will be.
But I don't want a Batman that's telling jokes either, but somebody that has a sense of humor.
Yeah, someone's got that. And Henry, listen, you're talking to somebody who I feel comfortable in saying I'm probably one of Henry Cavill's biggest fans. I feel very comfortable saying
I'm a big fan as well.
And he is my all-time favorite Superman. I love him. I really do want to see him in the DCU. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say within the next 3 years, he will be, or at least be announced to be in the DCU. Is playing Batman, though, the right role for him?
Probably not, but.
I mean, I could totally see him playing Batman. I mean, he's got the build, physique, the square jaw, the good looks, the playboy kind of swagger if he wanted to. Would it be a little too novelty, though, to have him play Superman and Batman?
Yes.
As opposed to maybe another character.
No, I think it'd be too novel. You'd be hard pressed to get over that.
Yeah. Like, I remember when Superman was coming out and we realized there was going to be like a kind of a bizarro character. People saying, well, he should be Ultraman. They should make Henry Cavill Ultraman. I'm like, that would be so much of a shtick.
Yeah.
That it would literally pull me out of the movie. And I love it. I'm the Henry Cavill's biggest fan. But that would be so schlocky that it would just pull everybody out of the movie. And so, but listen, if James Gunn were to announce tomorrow, because James Gunn said even recently that him and Peter Safran would love to find a spot for Henry Cavill in the DCU and that they want to work with him.
I mean,
I just don't know if Batman's the right guy.
I'll tell you, I would love to see him as a villain.
He'd be such a
They're
good
talking
villain.
about doing a Teen Titans movie, right? One of my favorite villains in the Teen Titans mythos is Brother Blood, who resurrects.
Yeah, who they had a version of in the CW, which is not all that good.
But I would love, because one of my favorite costumes of all time is the classic George Perez Brother Blood costume. I'd love seeing him.
He
do
played
something
such
like
a
that.
great dick in that Mission Impossible Felt like he was
he
so
was-
good in that.
Yeah, make him a villain. Make him.
Somebody in live chat saying Deathstroke.
That's another good one.
I like that.
He'd be
suggestion.
a great Deathstroke.
Oh, he would be such a good. You know what? I can even see him playing Bane in that universe if you wanted to. But yeah, there's a lot of good villains he could play. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Again, James Gunn is saying, look, we're not doing Robert Pattinson in the DCU. We've got a good thing going here with the Matt Reeves universe. But there are still some people who insist they want to see Robert Pattinson's Batman. I don't know why they'd want to ruin what they've got going with a good thing. But whatever you guys think about all this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.